Greetings folks, Ken Ring of www.predictweather.com. I'm standing outside in the Titirangi district, and I'd just like to show you a weather pattern that has always pretty well interested me ever since I started looking at long-range forecasting as a hobby and a business. And the phenomenon is called the Cirrus clouds. Now I'm going to point and hope that you can see in the sky up there what we would call cirrus. They're very wispy clouds. Cirrus stands for hair in Latin, and as I move from the east to the south, you can see this pattern all over the sky. Through just above the bottom of the road there, you can see it in the sky, and it's barely perceptible unless you watch closely. Above the power lines you'll see it. And I'm not talking about the white fluffy ones, I'm talking about the wispy hairy ones, which are also called mare's tails, but they generally go by the name of cirrus. Those clouds are very high up, they're about 50,000 feet, they're above the plane that you might be flying in if you're flying in a Boeing, and they're mostly composed of ice, and they portend a depression or an unsettled period coming. Now what you do, you look up and then you note them, and then you might note them again an hour or so later, still in the sky. If you see them in the summertime and then an hour later or so you see them disappear, that's actually a sign of settled weather. But when they persist and they gather and they just hang there without moving, that's a sign of a depression coming. It's also a sign of a depression going, so you see this pattern on either side of an unsettled period. So if it hasn't rained for a few days, like today, and you see them, it's generally a rain system in about 36 hours, or between 36 and 48. So I would pick it to be around Monday and Tuesday, rain in this particular neck of the woods. And because it's coming mostly from the southeast, I would say that the eastern side of the country, Hawke's Bay and then the Bay of Plenty, will probably get the rain first, and then it will come over this area here. So that's the cirrus pattern. Now, as I said before, you would see it above you if you were in a plane, and they are above the plane's level, but then they come through that area and slowly descend as they gather weight, and they become what we call cumulonimbus, which are the rain clouds, which are underneath the level of a plane would fly, and they eventually become rain, so just due to their weight. But it takes nearly 2 days for that to happen. So depending on conditions, of course, and the speed of the winds, it's round about 2 days away. Some people call them chemtrails, and because they have this conspiracists' theory that planes are putting poisons into the air to depopulate the planet. I don't go for that at all. Because I've been watching these patterns for over 30 years, and they've always come at the beginning of periods of unsettled weather. Now I'm just turning around, and you can even see them in the sky through the gap there, generally in that area there. If I'm pointing right, yeah, round about there. You've got to look closely, but you do see them all over the sky. Now I'm looking towards the southwest, I can even see them up there, so pretty well they're covering the whole sky here at the moment, the whole southern part of the sky. Not so much in the north, because there are actually clouds up there in the northern part. I'll switch around and show you what's up there, because that's although they're dark, it's really getting towards evening, that's why they're dark. They don't have any rain in them, but there are no cirrus formations up there as far as I can see. A little bit, but not as much as covering the sky in the south. So for those of you who are budding weather predictors, it's just something for you to take on board and notice next time you're watching the sky. Cirrus, that's a form of unsettled weather to come. And I hope that's of interest to you. Thank you.